Hello, Angela here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch another video, and I am going to make a book video. Okay, so here we go. I am currently reading Romantic Comedy by Curtis Sittenfeld. Now, I've read one of her books a long time ago, Prep, which was totally different than this book. Okay, so I started reading this book. We'll basically say I started reading it today. I read like 12 minutes last night out of it, and I'm currently like on page 95, so I'm 100 pages in, and I'm getting a 5-star feeling. So like I thought that I should probably make a vlog about this. It may just be this one book or just like everything that I read this week. Not that I'm gonna read that much. I'm probably, if I say that, I'm only gonna read 2 books. Anyway, if you're new here, my name is Angela. I lost 200 pounds, fell in love with running. Now I'm trying to live the healthiest life I possibly can while being a mom. And so reading, running, all of those things, that's what I talk about here. And yeah, so like I said, I'm reading Romantic Comedy by Curtis Sittenfeld. And yeah, so my first thoughts is that this book is well written. Like the banter between the characters and like just how the character gets along is pretty amazing. So this is about Sally Mills. She's a sketch writer for The Night Owls, a late night live comedy show. So I guess it's supposed to be like SNL. And she's in search of love, I guess. Look, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like read book synopsises that much. You know, I usually just go off other people's recommendations and everything. So she's a comedy show writer, a pop star music sensation with a reputation for dating models, is on the show, and I guess Sally kind of just like starts to fall for him. That's the part of the book that I'm at right now. So, you know, I guess a guy out of her league is suddenly in her league, I guess. But it's giving me 5-star feeling. And I just wanted to take you along here. I feel like that was a really bad, like, thing, like, synopsis about this book. Should I look it up and read about it so I can tell you? No, because I don't want to read too much about it. Right now, it's beautiful writing. It's very quick pace. It seems to be going like hours, days and hours, not like chapter to chapter. And I'm really enjoying it. So I don't know why this thing keeps focusing on my headphones and not actually my face, but that's what's happening. Anyway, let's get to reading some more. Hopefully, I don't know, I hope that I can finish this by tomorrow. And just usually on the weekends I read a little bit more, but I'm very excited about this book. I don't know what it is that's giving me the 5-star feeling. I don't know, it's just making me feel like really good, and I haven't got to any like conflict or anything yet in the book, but it's making me feel good, it's making me feel happy, it's making me feel hopeful. So I know that there's got to be some angst in it somehow, or maybe not, I don't know. As you can see, I got this from the book of the month like a while ago, but I'm super excited to see where it goes next. Oh, it is on. It's recording. Okay, so I will tell you this. I have a horrible habit of... Oh, that's really bright. Anyway, I have a horrible habit of waking up in the middle of the night and finishing books. So here we are. It's 9:15 and I just read for 30 minutes and I'm going to continue reading. but I'm going to tell you that I probably will end up finishing this book in the middle of the night, because that's what I do. It's so on brand for me. Also, using this camera is different. So I haven't really advanced any more past where I was. I don't know. It's a slow moving story. I don't know. Kind of has the feel of Pineapple Street to it. Why is this not focusing? Yeah, kind of has the feel of Pineapple Street to it, but like different. Like, I don't know. The story, there's more to the story here, but still kind of has that feel. So I'm on like page 125. Not really enough to advance the story, but hopefully a love connection is coming soon. Not that I'm all about the romance, but it is called romantic comedy. So I don't know. The build up and the anticipation of it though is like something big, and like it's making me excited. So that's where I am right now. So I'll see you in the morning when I may or may not have finished this book. Let's get bookish for a minute, okay? So, it's been a couple of days. Today is Tuesday. I think I started romantic comedy on Saturday. Did I start it on Saturday? Yeah, I started it on Saturday and I finished it on Monday morning, I think. No. Maybe? Okay. No. No. That's right. I started it on Friday night, but I really started on Sunday, and I could have read this whole book on Saturday. Sorry. I could have read this whole book on Saturday, but I stopped myself from reading it, and then I finished it on Sunday morning at 4 a.m., just like I said that I was. And you know that I was talking about getting the 5-star feeling, and yes, this definitely carried on through to be a 5-star book. Like I said, I've read Curtis Sedenfield before with Prep, and Prep, I can't even tell you. I think it was a long time ago. I want to say that I was in college when I read it. Okay, so the writing style in this was very similar. The way that she tells the stories and how it wraps around each other is, you know, it's pretty straightforward, and like there's no like ambiguity in, I can talk, I promise, there's none of that in the story. It's very like straightforward, and there's like angst and there's like build up to it, but there's like nothing like weird about it. Like there's none of the miscommunication things happening, or like all the basic like trope things that happen in like a typical, like a more contemporary romance that happen now, you know, like the conflict, and then it's the third act conflict and all that. And then I didn't really feel like that it was set up like that, which made this book even better, because you weren't like, does that make sense? It was just very like straightforward. This is like adults having a relationship, and then this is what like truly happens. You know, I'm not screaming at the book, well then why didn't you just say what you meant, or anything like that. These characters were very upfront with each other. If there was a conflict, then they addressed it and they went on about their business. And like, it was just a really, really good book to read for that reason. I liked the characters. I loved Sally. I loved Noah. I loved how they actually took the time to get to know each other. Obviously, this is like a COVID pandemic Can I say that? This is one of those like romances. And yeah, I just like the way that it came together. It was very short, but like it didn't feel short. The chapters are very long. There are only 3 chapters in this entire book. So I don't know, just the way that it came together, it just made me feel really good. And you know, it's a great 5-star book when you can't stop thinking about it. And usually like I'll finish a book and then I'll jump onto another book, but I didn't want to pick up another book after that. Even though it took me like 8, 9, 10 hours to actually pick up another book, because I'm used to reading at night before I go to bed. So I had to pick up another book. So this definitely 5-star read. And then I moved on. As you saw, I've been reading The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. I saw that one of her books was the book of the month. Is this focusing? Yeah, this was a book of the month, and I've never ever read any of her books. So I'm about 150 pages into this now. I started it Sunday night. Read about 45 minutes of it yesterday. I didn't read that much of it Sunday night. I read like 10 minutes. And then 45 minutes yesterday, about 35 minutes this morning. I'm going to steamroll this book later. That's the reason why I'm making this video now, because I want to go ahead and start reading, and I know that I need to keep you updated on what I'm reading if I'm going to be doing a vlog. So this is about a famous actor. I think his name is Jack. I'm really bad about like names and stuff when I'm in the middle of a book. And he needs a bodyguard, and he hires this company, and he ends up with a female bodyguard that has to end up like pretend to be his girlfriend, because he doesn't want his family to find out or cause any undue stress in the family about why he has a bodyguard or anything like that. So what I love about this book is that it takes place in Houston. So, you know, as you know, I don't live that far from Houston, and so like all these things that they're talking about, I know and I understand, and like the setting of the story makes it more appealing to me. That's what I also loved. Last week I read Red, White, and Royal Blue. I loved that they were from Texas or whatever. So it's, you know, a lot of books take, you know, do the New York City thing or whatever. So it's always nice when a book comes home to Texas. So I'm actually really enjoying it. That's why I said I'm going to steamroll through it right now. Is it a 5-star read for me? No, I don't have that feeling yet. But, you know, it's giving a good 4 stars so far. So I really hope that it stays at that point. And yeah, so that's what I'm reading right now. And since we're being bookish, I wanted to show you what my local library is doing. They have Bookopoly. It's a summer reading program. It's actually, we just found out about it like last week. Willie and I went to the library, and then so it's due next week. Luckily, you know, I keep a good tab on the books I read. So you have to go through and fill out and read books from each section. You know, it says a book with an orange cover, a book with a red cover, listen to an audio book, read a book on Libby, you know, a 1-word title book, 2-word title book. And basically you just have to go around like the whole Monopoly board. To win the prize, you only have to fill out 1 book from each section. So obviously I'm doing well. I actually could probably fill this whole sheet in, but I'm not going to do that right now because I've read so many books. I need to make sure that they go in the right sections. But this was very, very exciting. They also have one for kids, which Tot is very excited about. So even though she's not like, she's 6, so she's like learning how to read, she can still read by minutes, and that's great. And it got me super excited. Willie's not as excited as I am, but I'm going to turn this in and get my free bookmark. And maybe, I think if you do more, then you get registered for like other drawings and stuff. Complete your bookmark, complete the whole color set. Yeah, so they're going to have like prizes. So anyway, I wanted to hop on here and talk to you about that and tell you about the books that I'm reading and how excited I am. It's a big draw from, or a big difference from last month when I was like on my spicy romance kick, and now I'm on like, oh, I want some elevated books. So, and the library is coming through with a whole bunch of library loans for me, so I'm super excited about that. But anyway, it's almost time to read. I'll let you know how it goes. Alright, so let me take my headphones off. I just read for a little bit over an hour and I'm on page like 229 now. And I don't know what it is about this book. The book is not bad. It's not giving me the 5-star feeling. I've already told you about this. But I think that I probably would have enjoyed this book more if I hadn't read romantic comedy before this book. Because, I mean, it's basically the same type of book. But, you know, there's tons of, like, miscommunication going on here. Like, major miscommunications. And if you don't know, that's, like, my biggest pet peeve in book. But, you know, like, I get that it has to happen, but when it's done right, it's done right. And you know, right now it's too early to tell whether or not it's done right, but I just don't live in a world where I don't say how I feel. So maybe I am projecting a little bit with this trope, a little, you know, but I believe that life is too short and you should just say what you mean. And then, you know, I get that it's a book, but you can still let the story develop after that. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Page 229. I don't know how many pages are in the book. Let's see. How many pages are in this book? Well, it says I'm 70% through. Oh my goodness, I didn't even realize that. So, 70% through, and this is what's happening here. Definitely not a 5-star feeling. Not feeling it. I thought that I wasn't even that far into the book. Okay. All right. So those are my thoughts on this book. It says that I use Bookly for this one reason right here. Because it says that I've read for 3 hours, 3 minutes, and 51 seconds. And it says I have an hour and 19 minutes left in the book. So maybe I'll finish it tonight. If not, I'll definitely wake up tomorrow morning and finish it. But chances are I'll probably just finish this tonight. Oh my goodness. Knowing that I'm 70% through doesn't make me feel good. Alright. Alright, it's very much the next day. And last night I ended up finishing the book before I went to bed. If you don't remember, I read The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. And it had me, like, not the 5-star feeling. It had me, like, at a 4-star feeling. But this one missed with me. I don't know. There didn't seem like to be a lot of chemistry between the two characters, and so like it wasn't I don't know. I wasn't feeling the story at all. Like I was waiting for it, and I just never ever got any type of chemistry or romantic thing that happens, or I don't know. Like it's a fake dating scenario along with a lot of miscommunication and all of that. So I'm not really trying to like spoil the book for anyone, but this one just totally missed with me. The characters, I wasn't rooting for them. I wasn't not rooting for them. I was indifferent. And I think that's how I felt like the entire book. And like I said before, I think if I would have read romantic comedy after this book or whatever, I probably would have enjoyed this book a little bit more, but it definitely wasn't my favorite, or one of my favorites, and I don't really know if I could continue on to read another one of her books. I don't know. Maybe I'll give another one a chance, but for right now, I feel like that this was pretty hyped up. And most importantly, I did read the book, so this is going to count as my orange book cover, even though you can't really tell what it is. So, I'm picking my next book, which I think is actually a physical book, which also is, I don't know, I've just been buying a lot of books, So I really want to read Once Upon a Broken Heart, but I have to wait on that to come from the library. Why is it? This is in the Audible. Did I buy Once Upon a Broken Heart? Maybe I did. Okay, so I'll have to check that out. So I can read Big Summer. I'm still waiting on Once Upon a Broken Heart from the library community board. I think I'm gonna read The Summer of Broken Rules by whoever wrote The Summer of Broken Rules, but I think I have a physical copy. Here it is. Okay, so the story with this book is that I think I bought it on one of those, no, this wasn't a buy one get one 50% off. I think I just bought it, but then I also didn't realize that I had bought it on my Kindle too, so they got all of the money from me on this book. So the print is very spaced out and kind of large, so it's definitely the type of book that I can physically read. So I have it here, I have it on my Kindle, I also have it inscribed. If you don't know, I listen to the audiobook and follow along in the book. So that's what I will be reading next. Let me just give you the stats on the last book. Not that you really care, but that's kind of the purpose of me making this video. It took me, let's see, 3 hours and 51 minutes to read The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. Yeah, that's time that I actually wish that I could get back. I use Bookly, just in case you don't know that. I use Bookly. I'm punching this trying to get it to focus, but it's really my phone. It's really the camera. Anyway, yeah, I use Bookly to keep track of all of my stuff, just for my own personal reasons. I don't need any other. I just like to know how long it takes me to read a book, or when I'm like really enjoying the book, I can see that I'm reading faster, blah, blah, all those type of things. I'm a numbers gal. I like the data. So anyway, this is what's next. The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walker. Yeah, I've heard good things about this book, so I'm excited to try something new.
Because we need Kara to.
Okay, maybe I should turn the TV back on because the front of my face is not lit very well. I don't know. Okay, so here, let's just try it this way. Much better. Okay, so I'm really late for work, but I'm gonna go ahead and make this video, this part of this video, because I'll forget. So if you remember, I'm reading The Summer of Broken Rules, and I started it yesterday when I had started making the video, and now I don't know, I'm 200 pages in. I think there are 320 page, 300 and oh, there's an epilogue. I don't want to read that. I think it's 354 pages. Do you ever flip through the book and then like try not to read the last words? Yeah. So yeah, I've been reading this for a while. It's cute. I mean, it's really got me. Yes, it is a YA book, and it's not giving me a 5-star feeling, but it's giving me like a 4.5. So like, this book is really, really getting me. I love the characters. I love Wit. He's just very like personable, and I love the mayor, like how they connect with each other. The relationship is going really fast, I will say that, but I also think that setting is everything, because half of these people are like Southern from New Orleans type people, and then the other half are like from like, I guess they're on Martha's Vineyard, right? Yeah, I should know that because I'm reading the book. So like, they're at Martha's Vineyard on a family like compound, I guess, and setting is everything because half the people are like from New Orleans and they've got like this whole like southern French thing going on, which I can relate to because, you know, I don't live that far from there. Spent lots of time going to New Orleans. And then the other half of the people, they're from like the New England area, I guess, kind of, because they're at Martha's Vineyard for Sarah's wedding. So like there are lots of like family fun things happening, and I mean there's a whole other aspect of the book that I don't want to give away because I feel like that it's a huge part of the book that is adding some excitement to it. And you know, Wit is very charming, Mare is very charming. It's interesting to see the relationships that they have with other people and how it's affected them. But yeah, very young adult. I will say that, but that kind of makes it a little bit more endearing. I actually like it. But yeah, so I think I have like an hour or so left to read in the book. I have to go to work now, so I will not be reading this, but I do plan on finishing this tonight. So I'm super excited about this book. It is giving me good feelings. It's making me feel warm and fuzzy on the inside. I mean, the conflict, I already see where the conflict is going to be, but well, I don't know. It's a YA book, so we'll see if it really makes a big deal. Or, you know, YA books, everything seems to come together like too perfectly sometimes, but I guess that's like the YA genre. But real talk. Okay, so I just got done working out and it is 4:18. I've been thinking about this book all day. Like, I've wanted to sit down and finish reading it, but I had to go to work. And then I was going to come home and read it when I got off work. But then I was like, no, I need to go work out. So now that I've worked out and I've done all that stuff, it's time to get reading. And I'm going to finish this tonight. I am going to finish it. So, let's get reading. So excited! Lily just got home and scared the bejesus out of me while I was reading my book because I was getting to like the conflict, the third act conflict type thing, like right at that page. And he was just like, you need to get some situational awareness. But I was like so engrossed in the book. I think I have like something like 50 pages left. I don't know. 100 pages. I'm gonna go ahead and finish now. Alright, I just finished the book, Summer of Broken Rules. The title's a little bit deceiving. I don't really think that it was about that, but it was a very good book. It was a very good book. It was cute. I enjoyed it. It gave me like some fuzzy feelings. It was a very like quick romance, I guess. I don't know. Yes, it was a romance. It was very like quick. They really only knew each other for like 7 days, so you know, some of those things tend to bother me, but it is what it is. But it was cute, and I liked it. I felt like it was well written, and it's very funny coming off of romantic comedy and then The Bodyguard to this. Like, I definitely enjoyed this book better than The Bodyguard. And yes, it was a YA book, so like it was a little, you know, it was a little light, but I mean, sometimes you need that. And I don't know, I just felt like it was much better written of a story than the last book that I just read. So all in all, I really enjoyed it. I would recommend, if you're into like YA like romance, because it's very cute, it's very wholesome, it's very like base level beginner love type thing. And you know, we all need to go back to our roots sometimes. But yeah, definitely recommend. I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10 because, you know, I don't rate my books like that. But I like to say 10 out of 10 would recommend because, you know, that's just me. But I'm going to give it a 4. I thought it was a really good book. Now, I have to pick my next book, even though tomorrow's Friday, so F1 is coming on. So my weekend will be filled with F1. But I'll show you what my options are. I don't think I'll finish another book by the end of this video, but I know I'm definitely going to start one. So this is what I got. So I just finished this. So I have Second Ending by Michelle Hoffman, Ace of Spades. I don't think I want to read this right now. It said something, it was like Gossip Girl meets, what was this about? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. I read somewhere at the bookstore maybe, that, whatever. So I have Summer Reading, Big Summer. I've read all of these. So I have Summer Reading, Big Summer, and then I'm waiting on Once Upon a Broken Heart from the library, which I got it last week. And then I delayed it. It's supposed to be available tomorrow, so maybe it will come through. If not, that will probably be the book that I read after the next. I don't know what I have on my Kindle though. Still not in a serious reading mood, and I'm not really ready to move on to another book. Let's see what I got here. This is what I got on my Kindle. So I finished that, so I guess I really don't have that much left. I do want to read Saturday Night at the Lakeside Supper Club. I also have Yours Truly by, every time I send that screen back, I have Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, and I still haven't read Happy Place, but I think I'm going to read all of those books in August. Oh, I also have the last book of the Dreamland Billionaires thing that I could read. What is it? It's the fine print terms and conditions. Whatever the last book is. I have to read that. And yeah. So I'm gonna wait and see if my library loan comes through. If not, that's where we're at. I'll see you tomorrow when I start reading another book. I always forget about the light. Not a good angle. Anyway, so it is the next day and I was desperately trying to find another book to read because my library loan, of course, did not come through. But because I just started a book, it is going to come through. So I was going to do like this whole cute thing and have my best friend pick my next book, and she would absolutely hate it because she would never read any of these books. But what I was going to choose from, which will now enter my TBR for next month, would be Funny Girl by Nick Hornby, Jennifer Weiner's Big Summer, and Summer Reading by Jen McKinley. I've randomly picked up this book at the bookstore and knew nothing about this author, but I think she does like some cozy mysteries and things like that. So like I was looking at the library like to see some of her other books, and they were all like cozy mystery type things, and I might be into that, especially like come November. So, but ultimately I decided on reading ultimately I decided to read American Royals. That was so anticlimactic because like it didn't show the cover. That's one thing I hate about Kindles. But anyway, so I ultimately decided to read American Royals because before I started reading, I don't know, 2 or 3 books ago, I was supposed to read that book, but then I think something came through in the library. Oh yeah, Cassandra in Reverse came through, and I needed to read that first out of the library, and I had already purchased this. So I'm going to sit down and I'm going to read American Royals, get a little cutesy here. and enjoy that and watch. Because I started that book, my other book is going to come through in the library loan. But that's okay, because I can stop reading that book because I own it to read a borrowed library book. But that's what's up. Happy Friday. People often ask me what I'm listening to when I'm reading my books. Now, I know I feel like I've said this a million times. If I'm not listening to the audiobook and following along with this, then I'm just listening to like ADHD, like sound music to keep me focused on the book. And that's the only way that I'm able to read, is to have that ADHD music playing in the back. But I actually do prefer listening to the audiobooks because, you know, I don't know, sometimes listening to the audiobooks while you're reading makes the reading experience that much better. It's like theater almost. So, and sometimes the audiobook is better than the regular book, but you never know. But it does get expensive. So I'm subscribed to Scribed, and then I'll try to get audiobooks from the library. I do have an Audible account, but it's like 5-star stuff that I will get from Audible. It's just not something that I just throw around. That explains why I have 9 monthly credits. I'll never be able to cancel. Anyway, I'm gonna start reading now, and it's hot. Oh my goodness, this is the worst part of the day, especially in Texas, because you can't be busting out your air conditioner all the time. So I'm gonna sit in here with the lights off and read. I can't put my headphones on because then I won't be able to hear you. Alright, so for the record, it is Saturday. Is today Saturday? Yes, today is Saturday. And you can't see me. Anyway, today is Saturday. I'm still reading American Royal. I just want to let you know that my library book did come through this morning. I woke up at 2 a.m. and I couldn't sleep, so then I started reading. And then my Libby came through for Once Upon a Broken Heart. And I knew that was going to happen. But I'm already 160 pages into this book, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish it. My battery's going dead. Great. Okay, so I am now back here, and I just wanted to go ahead and, I guess, kind of close out my video because I'm not going to finish this book in this video. This was just going to be like, this was like a week in my life of reading. So I'll just give a little recap. The books that I read this week, I read Romantic Comedy by Curtis Sittenfeld, 5 stars. Definitely 10 out of 10 would recommend. And then after this book, I read The Bodyguard by, who wrote The Bodyguard? Okay. I don't remember who wrote The Bodyguard. And that book was, I don't know, it didn't get me, so I gave it like 3.5 stars. It was good. It just, I think after reading Romantic Comedy, it was just not it for me. And then after that, I read The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. Loved this book. It's a YA little romance, and I just thought it was very cute. 4.25 stars. I definitely love this book. I would recommend it. It was a good, like, quick summer read. You know, obviously I read it in like a day, along with Romantic Comedy. And then I have moved on to American Royals, and like I said, I'm about 150 pages into this book, and I'm enjoying it. It's not like the greatest book. It kind of reminds me of The Davenports, which is a YA book also, but it's about black life during like the 1920s, I think, and so it has that aristocratic feel, and the way that the book is laid out is the same. Each chapter is told from a different perspective of one of the female characters, and this is just kind of how this book bounces back and forth like that, and just kind of how the storylines are already starting to line up. Just reminds me so much about that book, and I like that book. I think I gave it like 4.25 stars for that book, so maybe this is where this book will be heading. It's very cute. I think that it's going to be a very quick read, and I think that this is in a series. And the entire time that I'm reading this book, and I have like a playlist of like Taylor Swift songs going through my head, like that's how cute and wholesome it is. Another YA book. That's why I love YA books so much, because they are very cute and wholesome, and then they go there, but then they don't really go there. And sometimes you just don't need a book that's gonna go there. Does that make sense? Anyway, yeah, so that is all for this this week in my reading life. Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below what you're watching, what you're reading. And if you've read any of these books, I would like to know. Especially if you read The Bodyguard. I want to know what you thought about that, because I don't know. Like, I had very, very mixed feelings about it, but, you know, I may have missed the boat. If you've read any of Catherine Center, that's who wrote it. If you've read any of her other books, like, let me know if I should, like, keep trying or what. You know, every book is not going to be a winner. But yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for watching, and comment down below what you're reading and if you liked this video. Thank you so much. Bye.